The tornado struck at 3:17 p.m. The town of Baxter Hollow, a sleepy patch of farmland and church bells, never stood a chance. It came howling down from the hills like some vengeful god, a black funnel of fury that tore through silos, homes, trees, and finally, the small two-room clinic on Main Street. The clinic crumbled like a toy block tower. The roof went first, ripped off in one tremendous groan. Then came the walls, crushed inward under the force of the wind. When it was over, the sky was eerily clear again, and a silence settled over the town like dust. Dr. Lena Ortiz blinked through the debris and blood on her face. She was pinned under a toppled cabinet, her legs numb. Around her, the clinic was in shambles, part roofless, part caved in, with flickers of sunlight bleeding through the twisted beams. The power was gone. The backup generator hadn't stood a chance. "Lena," called a weak voice. "Erin?" Lena rasped. Nurse Erin Dale stumbled toward her from the wreckage of the hallway, limping on a badly swollen ankle. Behind her came Marcus, a volunteer EMT, hauling a screaming child out from under a metal gurney. His hands were slick with blood. "We've got people trapped in the waiting room," Erin said, "and I think Mrs. Yoder's still under the back wall." Lena gritted her teeth and shoved at the cabinet. Erin helped, and together they freed her. Her legs held, barely. "No power," Marcus said, wiping sweat from his face. "No cell signal. No ambulances coming. It's just us." Lena stood, swaying. "Then we do what we can. Triage. Stabilize. Save who we can save." They had one flashlight, 2 working IV bags, and a med kit that had fallen open and lost half its contents. The fridge holding insulin and antibiotics was destroyed, leaking fluid. The air smelled of smoke, dust, and something coppery. In the absence of anything else, they organized chaos. The examination table became a surgical bay. Marcus sterilized scissors over a lighter, while Erin stitched a teenage girl's torn scalp with shaking hands. Lena used an old mop handle and a torn bedsheet to splint a broken femur. She bit her lip so hard it bled when she had to amputate 2 crushed fingers on a farmer who wouldn't stop apologizing. Outside, survivors began appearing, dazed, bloodied, some carrying others. A mother sobbed over her unconscious son. An old man clutched his chest, gasping, and Lena had to make the cruelest decision: give him their last oxygen tank or save it for the child with a punctured lung. She gave it to the child. Night fell like a curtain. The cold came next. With no heat, they huddled close under bloodied blankets, listening to the distant howls of dogs or worse. The hours crawled. Somewhere, a voice over a damaged radio crackled briefly. "FEMA, heading in by dawn." It felt like a lie. By sunrise, Erin was feverish from infection, and Marcus's hands shook from exhaustion. Lena hadn't slept. Couldn't. She stood over a toddler who wasn't breathing and somehow brought him back with chest compressions and sheer will. They were just 3 people in a broken building in a broken town, but they were still standing. When the helicopters finally appeared, wumping low over the flattened horizon, Lena didn't cry. She simply collapsed, her hands still covered in someone else's blood, and whispered to herself, "We held the line." And in the ruins of Baxter Hollow, that meant everything.